Need for Speed Unbound arrived right at the tail end of last year, but with disappointing sales and several senior members of Criterion leaving the company, it could be argued that the game is already facing a bumpy road ahead. It's a shame, because while it's by no means perfect, Unbound has put the grand old series back on track, with deep customization, thrilling police chases, and a bold new art direction giving the series a fresh sense of identity. Despite the slow start, EA has confirmed Unbound will get free post-launch updates, but the contents are still being kept under wraps. I'm Mark from RacingGames, and here's what we know so far about Need for Speed Unbound's post-launch updates, as well as some new features we're hoping to see. EA says the first Need for Speed Unbound update will focus on expanding social play features. Quite what this means though isn't yet clear. Multiplayer has its own progression, meaning you have to buy cars and upgrades for multiplayer and single player separately, but there's little incentive to do so right now when Unbound's multiplayer feels half-baked. Currently, online parties are limited to just 4 players, down from 8 in Need for Speed Heat. EA's plans to expand social play features may imply that player parties will increase in a future update. We could also see Unbound's auto-log social tracking system expanded. As many players will have completed the campaign by now, expanding Unbound's multiplayer with new modes should be a top priority. Adding cops, a staple of Need for Speed, would be a good start. Quite how a Need for Speed game was allowed to be released without police in multiplayer is staggering to us, but without a police presence, Lakeshore City feels empty online. We'd also love to see a hot pursuit style mode, where players can drive cop cars and chase down friends in high-speed pursuits. Multiplayer free roaming is also currently restricted to daytime, so we're expecting an update to add the ability to cruise with friends at night. Need for Speed Unbound launched with the largest car roster in the franchise's history, with over 140 cars. Some of the standouts include A$AP Rocky's custom Mercedes 190e and the iconic BMW M3 GTR from Most Wanted, which is sadly restricted to online multiplayer. A handful of new cars also made their Need for Speed debut in Unbound, such as the Lotus Emira and Chevrolet Corvette Stingray C8. These are welcome additions, but the problem is that most cars in Unbound are recycled from Need for Speed Heat. This makes the car list feel outdated and familiar. EA says new cars are coming to Need for Speed Unbound in future updates, along with new customization features, but it's not clear if they will be free or sold as themed premium packs. In terms of new cars we'd like to see, adding modern supercars like the Ferrari F8, Koenigsegg Jesko and Rimac Nevera would bring the roster up to date. Performance cars from previous Need for Speed games like the Ferrari F40, Ford Escort RS Cosworth and Porsche Carrera GT would also be welcome additions. But the most glaring omission is the Toyota Supra. After appearing in the Fast and the Furious, the Supra became a prominent tuner car, also appearing in Need for Speed Underground. Its absence is felt in Unbound. Hopefully EA can resolve any licensing issues preventing Toyotas from featuring in Unbound. Inspired by the windy city of Chicago, Lakeshore City features a variety of areas to explore, from city streets to expansive highways and twisty mountain roads. But with no fast travel and a relatively small map, driving to events set in the same locations gets very samey very quickly. A map expansion with new areas would solve this. Historically, Need for Speed games haven't had map expansions, unlike Forza Horizon. But considering the game has already broken the mold with its art style, why not continue the trend and add some map expansions too? This could already be about to change however. Also developed by Criterion Games, Burnout Paradise was expanded with a new area called Big Surf Island, so it's certainly possible that Unbound could also get a map expansion. A map expansion could also bring new modes like dirt racing or drift battles for some much needed gameplay variety, or maybe even different vehicles too. Boat races and motorbike chases aren't too far beyond the realms of a Need for Speed game after all. Potentially, we could also see the single player story expanded with new characters, events and game modes, and that's something we're all for here at RacingGames. Need for Speed Unbound is a game desperately in need of a shot in the arm, and hopefully Criterion delivers just that before it's too late. It's encouraging to see EA publicly state their support for the game, even after the sales and player numbers dropped, but these changes need to start happening sooner rather than later. What do you think? Is the game badly in need of updates? What changes would you like to see made? And which cars would you want to see added? Let us know down below, and be sure to join in on the conversation while you're there. For now though, thanks for watching. I've been Mark from RacingGames, please like and subscribe for all things Need for Speed Unbound, and now I'm off to drive solo around Lakeshore City in my favourite car in daylight. Sadly, it's the only way to do it right now.